All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. This is the artist Andrew speaking, and I am live streaming. Pulling up the YouTubes and making sure the audio is coming through okay. Have to wait and see. It always is a few seconds behind. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. YouTube's is as slow as I am sometimes. Let's see here. Get the USB. Oh. I had the wrong microphone on. There we go. Fix that. That should take care of that. All right, now that we got the right microphone on, we should be good to go. All right, hey everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. This is the artist Andrew speaking, and this is the Wednesday draw stream. Actually going to do a couple of different things tonight. I'm going to draw, of course, but I'm also going to do an original art presentation. Years ago, when I started the channel, one of the things I wanted to do was share the original art that I had collected over the years, and I did different videos showcasing published art as well as my own art, as well as sketches that I had gotten at convention sketches and all. And I've always wanted to go back and continue that series of showcasing some of the original art, and I may make the Wednesday streams an opportunity to do so. So a little later in the episode, I'm going to share with you an original piece of art, or maybe two, that I have that's kind of cool, and share with you and maybe tell you some of the stories behind the art and behind acquiring the art and so forth. But in the meantime, what we're going to draw tonight, I have an idea for a story. It's a Krom story that I've already laid out technically in my mind the majority of what happens in the story from beginning to end. And that's usually the first step. Usually the first step is, and I've already sat down, had the conversation with Michael, who's my son, who helps me write some of my stories. I told him, this is how it begins. This is how it ends. This is the middle. And it's a matter of getting from this end to this end of the story is filling in all the details. And part of the details of this story is a couple of really cool battle scenes between Krom and a champion or two of the bad guy, which should be kind of cool. But I was talking to him about the way the battle scenes are going to go, and they're very much inspired by anime and manga, as it is, in the fact that some of the battles can be kind of a little drawn out. There's a lot of posing, there's a lot of flexing, there's a lot of, story and emotion involved in the battle. It's not just a couple of people duking it out. There's a lot more to it. And one of the things I wanted to do is there's a 3 to 5 page kind of intro to one of the battles that I wanted to do some layouts for, and maybe actually do a panel or two and make it into a video in which I show from the beginning of the process to the end of the process. Oh, here's Avery. Let me bring him in real quick.
Yeah, the end of your process.
What's up, man?
What about your process?
I want you to know.
You look like you've been processed.
I want you to know I was clipping out the Peep Show portion of the live stream from last Friday.
Yes.
And I'm looking at it going, there's parts I need to edit out because they were just really bad. And then there was parts of me that said, just screw it, leave it all in. Just let it ride, see what happens.
Yeah.
But the majority of it is intact. There was another separate part of the video that I wanted to make it into another video, and you had made a joke. And I kept debating, am I going to take Avery's joke out? Because it almost made me spit. It was just so freaking funny. but I thought I've got to remove it. I've got to remove the joke. It was the one where I was talking about the one lady I was talking to on the phone, and how, you know, um, I forgot exactly what I said, but your response was something like, "Well, serves her right. She should have been in the kitchen," or something like that. And I said,
Oh
no
shit!
matter how funny that was, I needed to cut it out. So I did. I cut it out from but it's still in the live stream. So if anybody wants to go and
Yeah.
watch the live stream, it's still there. I'm not going to edit it out of that. But what's up, Todd?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Todd.
Hey.
What's up?
Not too much. I was right before Avery and you came in. I was just telling everybody that one of the things I wanted to do this evening, when I first started my channel, one of the things I was doing fairly regularly is I was making videos of my art collection. I was sharing original published pages, convention sketches, some of my own art, and kind of telling stories behind the pages that I was sharing. And at some point, I stopped making the videos, and I really enjoyed doing those. And I have hundreds and hundreds of pieces of original art, and some of them, the stories behind them and how we acquired them, and how we got them and so forth, is just as interesting as the art itself. And I think I want to start doing those videos again. And what I may do is take a segment, or the last segment of the Wednesday draw stream, and present a piece of art and talk about it. And I have one in particular that I want to start this evening, but it's one of those ones that I really, really like the page of art, and there's a story behind it, and I'm looking forward to sharing with everybody. So, in other words, you guys just have to sit back and enjoy the show. But well, no, actually, to be honest with you, probably 50 to 75% of the art that I own, one of you was there when I acquired it. There's some things that I got either online or when I was by myself at a show or something, but the majority of art that I own, you guys were there with me and are part of the story. So, just fun.
Sure.
How's it going, guys? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. Extremely tired. I don't
You're
know
always,
why.
every time you start a stream, you start off by saying, "I'm exhausted."
Well, I did do something silly before this stream. I got your text asking if I was streaming, and I said yes, that was the plan. And then I was watching a TV episode with the wife, having dinner. And then once it was over, I'm like, I think I'm going to go lay down and close my eyes before the stream starts. And Jen looks at me and says, "You do realize it's 7:45 now, right?" And I'm like, oh.
Oh my gosh.
It gives me absolutely no time. But I did try. Oh, well. But I'm here. I'm here for you guys. So how you guys doing?
Good. Hold on. Avery, you talk.
That was a question.
I'm fine. I'm working on a little something to color for somebody, because a client wanted something colored.
Okay.
A drawing for that someone else did, and they're having problems getting it colored. So I was like, okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
I just got to do a couple little touches.
Now, are you able to talk about your process? I mean,
no, I don't.
You do all your coloring digitally, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is somebody else's stuff. I'm just coloring it.
Okay. Is it comic strip or pinup stuff?
No, it's just an illustration.
Okay. Very cool. Now, are you making a video of this?
No.
Should you or could you?
I don't care about doing it.
Okay. All right, that's fine. I'm not going to force you. I just think it'd be very cool to share with your audience.
Nah, no one would care.
Everybody would care, Avery. You're the best.
No one would care.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, I mean, nobody watches those kind of videos.
Nobody watches what kind of videos?
Like coloring and stuff, and like no one cares.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of boring, right? Like,
yeah,
it is a little difficult. I could see like I could see how it's kind of a struggle.
Yeah, like no one watches that kind of stuff. There's a few art channels that have some sort of gimmick that they do okay, but mostly like no one watches that kind of stuff. No one cares.
Yeah. Well, what I'm doing, and I was explaining this earlier, you guys weren't here for it, is I have a 3 to 5 page story, a Krom story that I want to do. Well, let me back up. The whole story isn't 3 to 5 pages, but a portion of the story is 3 to 5 pages. And what I want to do is I want to just do some layouts and actually do, this is how it starts. You do the layouts, thumbnail sketches, then you do a little bit larger sketches, then you do the full illustration and so forth. And what I'm doing is I'm just starting it from the very beginning, just to give people an idea of how a page of art or a story actually develops.
Now, Andrew, did you actually have a story?
Yes.
Do you write your story, your scripts, or do you just kind of have it in your head, or do you have a plot? Like you're just starting with thumbnails, but it looks like you have a plan. So can you explain how that works?
Yes. Well, the way I've done my stories, and Dillard's here. Hey, Dillard. He says, Avery speaks for me. I do not care. Yeah. Thank you, Dillard.
Yeah. So,
and what I normally do is I come up with an idea, and what normally happens is in my mind, and I talk it out with Mike. Mike helps me a little bit, and I talk it out with him. We have a beginning and we have an end. We know where the story starts and we know how the story is supposed to end. The details is the middle section, how we get from point A to point B, and what needs to be told and what needs to be shared and what needs to be revealed and what needs to be discussed, what needs to be shown, what happens between A and B is the details. And one of the details of this particular story is a fight scene between Krom and the bad guy's champion. And it's kind of a very quick scene when it comes to the actual battle. Krom vanquishes the bad guy pretty quickly, but there's a lot of flexing and posing that happens before it to kind of indicate like this massive bad guy is going to do this massive battle, and Krom kind of handles him pretty quickly, only to find out that there's a twist, and he ends up having to face multiple champions in this battle. And but the first one is the one that's the most in the story, the idea and the visuals. He's the most like, oh crap, this is going to be awesome drag out fight, and there's like these stretching and posing and these and all, and it ends up being a very quick fight. But then this is only a very small portion of what Krom has to go through in order to continue on with the story. But what I'm doing now is just imagining the setup for this rather quick battle, and that's what I'm laying out now. It's just the different idea, different poses, different positions of the characters. Like at one point, Krom, like you get a close up of his hand as he's like making a fist, and the bad guy starts pounding the ground like he's going to go charging at him. And these are all things that are very visually exciting. And this is literally the laying out of that process. So to answer your question, I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just spouting my mouth off.
Mm-hmm.
So how about you guys? Now let me throw the question back at you guys. When you're working on a page of story, do you enjoy going off of a full script? Do you enjoy just pulling it out of your ass? I mean, how do you guys like to do a page of art for a story?
I don't want a full script. I don't want to be told what angles to draw from.
Oh yeah, I understand that completely.
Just what's happening. I don't need it. Maybe a panel count. Mostly don't want a panel count either. I want to figure all that out.
Well, one of the things I do, my pages, I have adopted a 3-panel page layout, and I enjoy those very much for my storytelling. And I can do a 2-panel layout. I can do, I can change around it, but my my basic layout is 3 panels, and that's usually where I start with. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah. What about you, Todd?
So usually when I do a page or a story, I'll have it in my head. I don't really. I might make some notes, but I don't really draw a full or like type out a full script. I kind of feel like it's a waste of time only because I have it in my head so clear.
Right.
I tend to then use a page mock-up that I have. So I have a page mock-up that was given to me, golly, a long time ago by Mike Waringo at Heroes Con, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I've had it. I've used it forever. I mean, he gave me like a couple of sheets because he had made this. It was really simple. It was just you take that 11 by 15 and you shrink it down to this so it fits on the 8.5 by 11, right? And I've modified it since then. I have like a whole bunch of them, so I can fit a whole comic onto one page, like just a bunch of, it's only 22 pages, so I can kind of sketch it out, and I tend to sketch it out really small just to kind of get some basic thoughts, and then I'll go a little bit bigger basically I'll go from like a really small thumbnail size page just so I can kind of block out big shapes and kind of figure out action because it's the fastest thing I could possibly do. And I can do a million of them without any stress. And then I go to like that Mike Ringo page where it's basically an 8.5 by 11. And sometimes I'll draw on that page. A lot of times I'll actually just like I'll trace that page in my sketchbook just so I have like a proportionate page in my sketchbook. And then I'll just start drawing the pages out.
Okay.
And then and that way with that, I can get a little more, I get a little more refined with the shapes. And even now, honestly, like, I think I'm always experimenting with it. And, I wouldn't say that I have one way to do it, but my interest now is to see not necessarily how tight I can get on that scale, but how, like how complete of a sketch I can get without being a penciled page. You know what I mean?
Right.
I get in there with erasers and pencil and, smudging and all kinds of crap just to kind of get some real depth and detail into the sketch so that when I get to the page, it's more like when I get to the penciling stage, I want it to feel more like inking or tracing, right? Like I don't want to think about it. Does that make sense? Like I want to have all my blacks kind of laid out, sketched out, all my detail kind of laid out, or an idea or a plan of how I'm going to get there. And then when really like the goal is to get from that sketch to a final ink. Like I know a lot of pros that do it like much more than I do. Go straight from a sketch to ink. Right. To me, that's mastery. Like when you can go from a sketch, like what you're doing, Andrew, like to go from that to a full ink and have it look great, is awesome. You guys both, I would say that both of you guys are actually kind of there. Like Avery does it for sure. Like Avery can do a sketch and then go straight to ink and it looks fucking amazing. Like I can't do that yet. Like I'm still trying to break my habit of animation, which is like super anal and super tight, It's really difficult.
Well, you also have a much tighter style than I do.
Yeah.
So, like, if I want, like, I can draw tighter than what I do. Now, if I'm going to do a style that's tighter, I have to do much more complete, precise pencils. But if I'm just going to wing it and go, hey, if I have to go back into something with white out and white acrylic, I will, because it's my style that I do that. Because I'm not afraid to paint back into something. But if I wanted to do something like if I were inking your work, it would be a very different approach. Or if I wanted to do something as tight as you do, I would have to do more complete pencils.
Yep.
It all depends on what I'm going for. I also change my style almost on every project. I change something about my style to fit the story.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Now, do you like working on other people's stuff, or you like doing your own stuff?
If it pays, I don't care.
Yeah, me, I like doing my own stuff. So
I enjoy inking other people's work if it's a style I gel with, or if that person does not care that I just take over. Like working on someone else's breakdowns and layouts, and I
yeah,
can just lay what I want to on top. It's fine. It's fun actually.
I think Todd would agree with me that Avery is definitely the Kevin Nolan of our group. You know, he definitely brings his own sense, his art style when he's working with somebody else. He definitely, you can tell Avery added to this page. He definitely has a signature style and ability to
Mhm.
bring out other people's artwork with his own, and it's definitely something you're like, that's an Avery.
Yeah, but I can also subvert my style and ink someone else's stuff, like where it matches their stuff better.
Well, which would you prefer?
Depends on what I'm getting paid.
All right, if I gave you an original drawing of mine to ink,
Uh-huh.
and I wasn't paying you crap, you
Uh-huh.
would do your own thing, wouldn't you? You would
Yeah.
totally make it your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I would want too.
Yeah. But if it was a paid thing, it's like, oh, okay, let's say it was a hero story that I was inking your pencils.
Right, right.
I would treat it a lot like animation the way I inked, but with a lot of brush work. Like there would be more line weighting in it in the figures than what you do.
No, I gotcha. I gotcha.
But it
I
would
have
be
this.
it would be a very clean inking style though, not my rough crazy stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's because I'd want to keep it looking like animation,
Yeah,
but honestly,
but
if
I
I
have
was
some.
having yeah, if I was having you do a project, I'd expect you to go,
Yeah,
full Avery crazy on it. You wouldn't have to be, you know,
I got some pins in today that
yeah.
I'm looking forward to trying. It's the kind you would use for like calligraphy if you were doing like Arabic writing. So they're like little shovel fort pins nibs. They'll make a real fat line or depending how much, like several lines at once parallel. And I'm like, it's gonna be cool to do like weird crazy cross hatching with these.
That's cool.
I'm looking forward to trying them out.
All right, so one of the things in this particular what I'm working on is just a series of scenes or poses, as you might say. I haven't laid anything out on a page yet. I just want scenes to happen, and it's kind of like you see Krom standing there, and he's across from the guy who's in shadow. He comes out of the shadow, and he's cloaked. You get a close up of his face, and you see his eyes, but it's still all dark. And then you see Krom kind of like growl at him, and then Krom's like stretching, and then the guy reaches up. He's huge. This guy is just huge. He reaches up and grabs his cloak and he like rips it off, very manga anime stylish, where he's like revealing, what he looks like, and he's this huge ass character. He's just huge, and Krom just kind of close up of his eyes, kind of like, kind of like I'm. He's like sizing the guy up, and then he starts this pounding on the ground, like showing off his strength, like cracking the ground as he every time he hits it, and just really cool visual stuff. And that's kind of what I'm working on here, just giving an idea of what that would look like.
Oh, where's the establishing shot of them to get in a frame together?
Well, that would all be up here. It would,
Okay.
yeah. Well, this shows the two of them standing across from each other.
Okay, gotcha.
And then,
Okay.
yeah, it's there. Well, I also when I'm doing this, they're in an arena type of atmosphere, and that's something that I will design later. What the background's going to feel like and so forth. And there's also there's spectators watching the battle, and they'll be intermittently put in this scene so that you know that people are watching them as things are happening, and there's conversations and there's other stuff going on. There'll be breaks in this particular story, but for the time being, I just want to try to work on establishing the different poses and positionings and so forth. So I'm not the greatest guy when it comes to action. I never have been.
I can tell that by looking at you. Oh, come on. That was just too easy.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's a funny story in there. Today I got a scam call from a lower your student loan interest rate, whatever. It was a student loan one. I hadn't gotten one of those in a long time. And you guys might find it funny, but the girl, I'm not going to say she was in India, but she definitely had an Indian accent, and you could hear roosters in the background. And you could also hear little kids in the background. So it's like maybe she was working from home. I don't know. But at one point, she puts me on hold, like she's trying to get somebody on the line with me. And I'm on hold for a good 8-9 minutes. And the entire time, there's hold music being played. And it was rather, kind of shaken to the oldies kind of music. I don't know exactly what it was. It was hold music. And I start, kind of getting down with the beat, and I started this whole routine where I'm moving, and eventually I getting up and I'm shaking my butt and I'm just having a good old time. And when she came back, I told her, I said, "You have some very lively hold music there. I mean, it's butt shaking music." And she's like, "Oh, okay." But I told my wife, I went out after I was done with the call, and I'm like, "Honey, I got my exercise in for the day. I was, grooving to the oldies, type, shaking my butt and having a good time." But so to answer your question, I do move, you bitch. I do move from time to time. So I did go by the comic book store. Actually, I went by 2 comic book stores today to see what was new.
Yeah.
And there was actually one series that I wanted to check out, a new comic series from the Image. And honestly, I forgot the name of it. It's not that important. But when I did find the issue and I did check out the art, I was thoroughly unimpressed with it and decided not to pick it up just simply because it was not, it'll probably become one of the next big things, and the next something's killing the children, and the first issue will be worth hundreds of dollars. But it just did not work for me.
Yeah.
It did not work for me at all, so I put it back. But there was a lot of other crap out there. Which I'm sure you guys would know. But that's just the way it goes.
Dillard's working on the next Buckler.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's been posting some stuff from it.
Very cool. Very cool.
I don't think he's launched the campaign for it yet, though.
When he does, we'll have to get him on, or when he's going to, or when he's getting ready to, we'll have to get him on and talk to him about it. And you guys can make fun of him and pick on him and, do the things.
Or he can help us make fun of you.
Oh, well, yeah, that too. Just as easy.
So fun.
It is. I was telling Avery Todd that I was cutting out some of the video from our live stream in order to make another video, and there was the one where I was talking about the one lady, and it was the joke that Avery made that I was like, "Ooh, I should take this out," and I debated whether or not I was going to do it, and I ended up deciding to go ahead and do it. The one where he said she should have been in the kitchen, and I was like, "Oh,
that's what she gets for not being in the kitchen."
That's right. Yeah, I took the joke out.
Well, anybody that knows me knows I'm not serious.
Oh, I know, but
plus, I'm pretty much in the kitchen a lot. I cook. I love cooking.
I wish I could cook.
You can't cook?
I don't cook. I can't cook.
It's not hard, man. I mean, you're going to mess some shit up, dude, learning how, but it's really not that hard.
Wait a minute. If you have a sword over your shoulder, you're going to grab it this way, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. Palm.
Yeah.
All right. These are the kind of things you have to work out in the sketching phase. You have to realize that sometimes. Oh, boy. Actually, your arm would be very high up, wouldn't it, to grab a sword behind your back?
Yeah, people really didn't do that for going into combat. People, if someone was carrying their sword in the back, it's because they didn't plan on using it anytime soon, and it was just to carry it.
Yeah, he'd probably have it already like by his side or in his hand if he was going into a battle, wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm. Because drawing from your back, especially on a big sword, is very difficult. There's people on YouTube explaining it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, doing whole videos on it. Like, what would that really be like? Odds are they didn't do that.
Yeah.
But if you were just riding on horseback over a long period, they may like just put it on their back just to have it up out of the way.
So now, Andrew, are you actually going to turn this into a comic?
Well, it's a story that I've been planning on working on for a while. It's potentially the first Krom story, and because I already have it laid out in my mind, I should say, from where it starts and where it ends and so forth. It kind of introduces Krom, Princess, and what their mission, their goal, what they're going out into the world to do, and yeah, we'll see. I wanted Krom to do more than just be a bunch of pinups, is what I originally started as. So, whoops, actually, nope. This would be.
Oh, Dillard says he's never seen your style. Can he see? Well, which one? Todd's also an animator. He can actually do different styles. So.
Oh yeah. Todd's very much like a mimic too. You give him a good style, he can mimic it. And then he's got his own style, which is just as cool. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the Marvel imagey type style he can do. There's that style that's sort of based in manga that he did like Ava in, and then there's the stuff that's more like Cartoon Network or like.
Do you remember the Spider-Man story? Wasn't it like a submission type of piece that you did, where you had a really really anime like looking Peter, and Spider-Man was just like freaking awesome looking. You know what I'm talking about, right, Todd?
Yes.
Here, just talk about how awesome I am. That works.
Let me see if I still have that page scanned where I started inking one of Todd's. Let me see if I can find it. It should be on this computer.
I remember the cityscape that you did was awesome, and you remember which ones I'm talking about, right?
You talking to me?
No, I'm just talking to the wind. Hey, Eagle. Sorry, I know you're there. I just forgot to say hi. How's it going?
Okay.
You got something to share?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get both these open.
Okay. Now I actually I actually have to design what this guy looks like. I think my idea is for him to be like a rhinoceros type of character. He has a big horn right in the middle of his face. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. I'm going to stop this. And we'll see what Avery's got here.
This is some of Todd's stuff that I started inking.
Ah, yes. That's the Spider-Man I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. I have these originals somewhere.
You've got those originals?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I was
Very
wondering where
cool.
those damn things were.
I have them.
Oh.
Now, I know there was at least 1 or 2 pages prior to this.
Yeah, but these are the pages I have. And like this is all inked with a brush. This is all brush.
Yeah, man, your brushwork was dope.
Very cool.
I still
Very
prefer it more than a computer.
Yeah, I don't ink digitally on my stuff now.
Yeah. That's a pretty decent Spider-Man looking thing still, man. I'm so happy with that.
Yeah, it's
That's not
still
bad.
good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And this is probably, what, 15 years ago or more?
That was a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forget these samples I showed. I'm not going to name the editor who was there at the time, but I showed them to the editor at Marvel, and he said that he said that I was drawing Spider-Man's eyes too small.
Yeah. And then right after that, they went back to the small eyes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yep, that's it.
That's awesome.
Okay. Now, I know there was a page in which you saw Peter, and he looked like a very young manga-looking Peter, and then there was either it was the same page or it was a page prior that had like buildings and so forth, and you did a fantastic job in the buildings too. So I remember that. That was very cool.
Oh, Dillard, and if you want to see some of his stuff for his NFTs, go to my Twitter and find where I'm retweeting the adult fantasy NFT stuff that looks like trading cards. That's his project, and he drew those.
Yeah, man, we're Melissa and I got a team going. We're actually building a platform that's, we're going to be partnering up with comic properties and other people who just want to make NFTs, and you can attach comics to those NFTs. People buy the NFTs and they get the PDF, and you can ship them the physical comic. People are doing it, and they're doing it. It's a thing.
Nice.
Richard says, looks like shite. I think he was talking about my sketch.
I think he was talking about my sketch. That's okay. Yeah.
He says, bring back Ditko.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ditko. I like Ditko, but I like Ditko, honestly, I like Ditko more from the legend than his actual artwork. Mm-hmm. I've never been into Ditko's artwork.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Actually, there's some earlier stuff that he did that I liked so much more than the stuff he's known for. He did you remember he did some stuff with remember when Rocketeer came out? He also did some stuff with, it wasn't Rocketeer stuff, but it was published with the Rocketeer.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
But he definitely had an identifiable style, but I was never a huge fan, but he did have some things I liked. I mean, honestly, I really enjoyed Speedball.
I think there's some Doctor Strange stuff I've seen that's pretty dope.
Oh yeah.
My favorite Spider-Man stuff is the John Romita Sr. That John, two extremes, Romita Sr. and McFarlane. It's like that's what I like.
Would those be your favorite Spider-Man artists?
Yes.
I liked Steve Scarosa's work on Spider-Man, but he's not known for his work on Spider-Man. Even though I still liked it, but he's not known for that. And of course, I like John Romita Jr.'s Spider-Man as well.
Mm-hmm. That's not bad.
But who I wish would do Spider-Man or could have done Spider-Man for a lot longer? That would have been Rick Leonardi. All his issues, Amazing Spider-Man, every single one of them I remember, and gorgeous stuff.
I loved his fill-in issues on the X-Men books.
Yep.
And
Yep.
You
Matter of
need
fact,
mutants and stuff.
I have one right here. I was just looking
Yeah,
at
those
earlier
are
today.
great.
This is probably one of my favorite X-Men stories and Rick Liardi stuff.
Oh yeah,
So,
classic.
Anytime there was a fill-in issue and it wasn't Leonardi, I was pissed. Because it was usually something terrible.
yeah. Eagle says, so Frankenstein monster did go. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh, Dillard asked, did I move? Yes, I moved. I sold my house and I moved.
Richard says, Rocketeer was the bomb. He was. Richard says, real bookends, Ramita and McFarlane. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely. And then Dillard asks, Avery, did you move? Yeah, okay. So you jumped ahead on me there. So, yeah. Yeah, we got rid of him. We didn't want him in Florida anymore. So get the hell out of here. You know?
Yeah, that's the reason I couldn't color that project, Dillard, is I was going through that. Or I would have colored that book for you. Yeah, I can. Yeah, he's shipping. Yeah, I can send you my new address.
Okay, very cool.
I'll DM it to you later.
All right, guys. So, do you want to take a look at a piece of original art that I want to talk about?
Sure.
I don't think freaking A, guys.
Sure.
I don't think I give you a choice, do I?
No.
No.
You asked the question, but we know it's not actually a question.
No. The answer to the question is yes, Andrew. Whatever you say, Andrew.
Yeah.
All right. I tell people that come into my store all the time, they ask me, they say, what's your favorite comic, or what's your most expensive comic, or what do you collect? And the honest truth is, I have not collected comics in many years, simply because I kind of transitioned to original art, whether it be published pages or strip art or convention sketches or personal sketches. I collect art, and I would rather own, like, you could have a piece of, you could have a comic and you go, oh, this is like this rare first appearance of this person. But if you have an original page from a comic, you have a one of a kind nobody else in the world has. And that's kind of cool. And I really like that fact. And I've been collecting sketches and comic pages for, I'm going to have to go back and look to see what my very first piece of original art was, but it had to have been around 93, 94, when we did our first major, road trip convention after high school. Might even have been earlier than that, to be honest with you. I'll have to double check. But one of the pieces that is probably one of my all-time favorites is a movie adaptation. Everybody out there, all the guys out there, have seen Starship Troopers, the original Starship Troopers movie. And even though the movie has a lot of scenes that everybody remembers the co-ed shower scene, which kind of was my introduction to the actress Dana Meyer, who, as a redhead, looks absolutely freaking fantastic. And I'm not exactly sure if that's where my fascination with redheads came in.
Fetish.
But it was no fascination, not fetish.
Fetish.
Fascination. But that was definitely a tent pole in my love for redheads. And it just so happens that my all-time favorite comic book character is Batgirl, who is a redhead. And Dana Meyer played Barbara Gordon in the ill-fated Birds of Prey TV series, which some of you may remember, some of you may not, because it was only there for one season.
Yeah,
and honestly,
I watched it.
I've never seen the whole season. I don't know why. I've just never watched it. I've owned it. I've had it on DVD, but I've never watched the whole thing. But Dana Meyer, gorgeous. But all right, so to jump into the story about the piece of art, I ran into and I met at one of the conventions. As a matter of fact, I think it was a Heroes Con. It might have been a MegaCon. But the guy who did the art for the 2-issue Dark Horse Comics adaptation for the movie Starship Troopers, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name already. I feel I'm so embarrassed. I forgot his name. I'm blanking. Shit.
Oh,
what is his name? Oh my God.
What is his name? Who is he?
I have an original piece of art sitting right next to me. I don't remember his name. Oh my god, I know what it is. Hold on a second, guys. I can't believe I'm going to have to do this.
Oh my god, you're an embarrassment.
I am an embarrassment. You guys should be thoroughly upset.
I don't remember who drew that book.
Damn, I can't believe it. But I actually bought the page from the inker, who was Andrew Pepboy. And at the time, Andrew Pepboy, his name, he was all over the place. He was known, he worked on Fables, he worked on a whole bunch of stuff. And he was a very versatile inker and could pretty much ink anybody's style. And he was well known for that. And hold on a second. I can't believe I'm blanking on the guy's name. Is this it? Yep, that's it. All right, I got it on. Let me go look. I am so embarrassed. I'm going to have to edit this out of the video because I'm so embarrassed. And it doesn't list. Oh, jeez, criminy. Of course, this is back in the time when they didn't put people's names on the covers. And of course, whatchamacallit doesn't have. Oh my god, I am so embarrassed. All right, the bottom line is this whole thing's going to get scrapped because I can't use any of this. I am such a huge embarrassment to myself.
Wait,
What happened to Todd?
I'm here. I'm just trying to get a. I'm listening to Andrew try to like do stuff.
Richard has some Scooby snacks.
Yeah.
Oh hell. All right, I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Starship Troopers, movie adaptation, artist. We'll just do a Google search. Okay. So, I met Andrew Pepboy at this convention, and at the time, he had some original pieces of art, and I purchased a couple of them from him.
Wait, are you starting the story again?
Yes, because
Why?
I know the guy's name.
Oh, did you just have to look up the guy's name on like Google or something?
The original artist was Mitch Bird. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's really good.
He's good. But the story, and actually, I'm going to show you guys the page. This goes back to it's the movie adaptation, and everybody remembers the co-ed shower scene. Well, I actually own the original page that depicts the co-ed shower scene.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You have no idea what I'm talking about. This is the original. I'm gonna have to actually scan it in and show. But here's the scene with the co-ed shower scene down at the bottom.
What was this from?
The movie Starship Troopers.
Oh yeah, right on.
But the funny story about this, and Andrew Pepboy told it to me, and when I met Mitch Bird later on, he confirmed it for me. But in the credits of the book, it says penciled by Andrew Pepboy. Penciled by Mitch Bird, inked by Andrew Pepboy, with art assists by Art Adams. And what Andrew Pepboy told me is that the people at Dark Horse weren't happy with some of the faces that Mitch Bird had drawn of the actors as the characters. He kind of cartooned it up a little bit, and they were like, we want it to look more like the actual actors. And they got Art Adams to redo some of the faces on some of the pages. And on my particular page, he redid 3 faces, and including the 2 from the shower scene. And actually, I'm going to switch cameras real quick.
Avery, really quick, what do you call a man who has a camel toe?
What?
Isn't there a name for a guy that's got a camel toe?
I think I've heard it, but I can't remember it right now. Dillard.
Yeah, Dillard would know. This is important.
Oh, it better damn well be important.
Oh, Dillard said he's gonna ape Bernie Wrightson from now on. Yes, Bernie Wrightson was incredible.
Oh yes.
Moose Knuckle.
Oh yeah. Moose Knuckle's also camel toe, so
Yeah.
Todd, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. But this is the page of art, and of course it's framed because I usually have it in my office. It just hasn't been hung up yet. But this is the movie adaptation page from issue number 1 of Starship Troopers, and down here at the bottom is the co-ed shower scene, and you can clearly see from this face, which is this character, to this face. This is Mitch Bird's version, and this is Art Adams' version.
So you have an original Art Adams.
So I have an original Art Adams. And he also redid her face, and he did this face here. But yeah. And here's the sad part. After I purchased the page from I purchased one page from Mitch Bird, and then I later on purchased a page from I originally purchased a page from Andrew Pepboy, and then I purchased a page from Mitch Bird himself. And when I bought the page from Mitch Bird, and it had the most, and he even said to me, that has the most Art Adams on it. I went out into the lobby of the convention center, called my wife up and said, honey, I now own an original piece of Art Adams. And then I went back and actually told Mitch Bird that I just called my wife to let her know I now owned an original piece of Art Adams art, and not realizing how totally uncouth that was to say that directly to the artist I just bought the page from. Bad, Andrew.
That's pretty funny.
But yep. That's my story of my original page of art from Starship Troopers, the movie adaptation number 1 from Dark Horse, penciled by Mitch Bird, inked by Andrew Pepboy, with art assist by the legendary artist Art Adams. And this is one of those pages that will never, ever, ever leave my collection. So when I'm dead, you guys can have it. You can fight over it, one of you. I don't know either one.
I don't care.
Actually, when I had the discussion with the kids of what happens to my stuff when I die, Michael wants all the movies, all the DVDs, all that, and my daughter wants all the books and all the art. So she's laid claim to all that stuff.
Okay.
So what do you guys think? Was that an interesting story? Was it?
I think it was pretty good.
Share?
Yeah, I think it was worth it.
Life changing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was honestly. This was. I don't think.
Wait, did you read that Dillard is gonna ape some dude named Bernie Wrightson from now on?
Yeah.
Yes, I heard that.
Yeah.
Dude, go for it, dude. Your stuff will be dope.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Depending on the project, I take something out of my style or put something in from someone else.
Richard said he stopped thinking. Yeah, I understand. I completely understand. I'm actually going to have to retell that whole story and make a video out of it. I can't use this because I would have to chop that whole section up and edit it, and just too bad, too horrible. But the bottom line is, guys, I would like to, going forward, as part of the Wednesday show, do a little show and tell with some original art. And I do own some original Avery Butterworth and Todd Wanish pieces of art that I could show.
Oh, yeah.
What? No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Who has my Dragon Ball Z painting I did years ago, the watercolor? You have that. Can I get a good scan of that? Because the only scan I have is from a laser copy.
I might have to just send it to you because the only scanner I have is an 8.5 by 11 scanner, and it's not the greatest. It might be easier for me just to find it and give it to you, you know. But I also have your Thor that you did in high school.
All that like spray painted one, basically that terrible one.
Richard asks if I started working on a She-Hulk yet. No, not yet. I do have it. It's planned out. I have I have an idea of how I want to do it. I just haven't sat down and done it yet. So I have too many distractions walking across my desk to get stuff done. That's my excuse. Eagle says, "Why edit it? Because it was horrible. Because I couldn't remember the artist's name.
Mitch Bird.
Yeah, Mitch Bird. And I have like a sketchbook from him with some of his unedited stuff. He likes The Ladies Thick.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen some of his sketchbooks. They're dope.
They are awesome. He's got some fantasy illustration type stuff that he's done in the past.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous stuff.
Yeah. His sketchbook stuff and his like paintings and like fantasy stuff is like way better than a lot of the comic book stuff you'll find from him.
Yeah. One of the sketchbooks I have of his has like an independent story, and I'm not sure if he wrote it and drew it or if he just drew it, but it was Nazis, dinosaurs, female aviatrixes in busty flying planes, and in
a busty plane.
No, the aviatrixes were busty.
Oh,
yes, and the plane was busty too. But yeah, and
big titty planes.
Yep, and it was just gorgeous stuff. And if it was a comic, I would have bought it and loved it, but I don't think it ever got published any other way. I think it was a project that never got off the ground, which is really sad. But that happens. That happens in this world. Yeah, Bernie Wrightson's work on Frankenstein, the graphic novel, was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I don't have a copy of that. I've just seen a lot of the art posted online. It looks amazing.
Oh yeah. I had a copy of it. It's very much the story with illustrations, which is beautiful.
Yeah. So, like when I look at Bernie Wrightson's stuff, it's the kind of stuff that makes you want to just put down all the modern pens and go back to just like a quill and brush, and just go through the pain of doing it, because what you can achieve with that, like you can't get that look out of the modern technical type pens.
The layering on top of layering on top of layering. It looks so simple, but it is so freaking awesome when it's done right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's incredibly laborious. Like it's a lot of work.
I think the only other artist that I know, only modern artist that I know that does that inking type is Frank Cho. Where he layers the ink on top of each other, just straight lines over and over and over, and he does such a fantastic job with it. But that's a skill I never had. I've tried it before, and it always comes out nasty. But Richard says Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. It was very much like Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Yeah, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs was I still Schultz like drew a couple of books and then said I nailed it and left. Like he drew Cadillacs and Dinosaurs and like one or Xenozoic Tales or something, and then he was like, yeah, I'm out. He came in, created a masterwork, and dipped out, like never to be heard from again.
I actually have a copy of Xenozoic Tales. I don't know if it's issue 1 or if it's like issue 2 or 3, but on the inside it's signed by him, which is cool. And believe it or not, I found it in a 50-cent bin.
What was amazing is Cadillacs and Dinosaurs did have that short-lived cartoon.
It did. It had a toy line too.
Yeah. I watched it. I don't remember that much, but I remember I watched it. I was like, wait, this is a comic book.
Yep. But at the time, when he originally did it, it wasn't Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. It was Xenozoic Tales or whatever it is. So, yeah. They changed the name for the cartoon. I think maybe he changed it in the comics first and then made it in the cartoon, but hold on a second. I'm going to look and see. if I can find on YouTube the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs intro.
Oh, yeah, for the show.
Yep. I'm sure I can get my channel and get struck down for this, but I do it for you all. Oh, I just realized I don't think I shared with
Audio.
With audio. Hold on.
Oh my
god. Share
So
screen.
interesting.
All right.
So you guys, I started a new YouTube channel.
You did? Really? What's it called?
It's called Clever Era.
Okay.
It's called what?
Clever Era.
Clever Era.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were on it, dumbass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you were actually like watching it. Here, I can't have access to the comments here. I'll send you.
All right. Send it.
I'll
Okay.
send you a link to it. Hold on.
All right. So here's the intro to Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
All right, I just subbed.
You found it?
That's really loud. Sorry.
That was loud.
All right. So here we go.
Yeah, I remember the animation being
In the
good too with the
26th
intro.
century, mankind faces an epic struggle for survival. The forces of nature
An
have
epic
spun
struggle for
wildly out of
survival.
control. Mighty cities have crumbled, and the dinosaurs have returned to reclaim the earth. In this savage land, one man stands alone, Jack Tenrek, defending humanity in a world gone mad. A world where only the strong survive. A world of Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
That's pretty cool.
It really
That
didn't look
opening's
like.
great.
Yeah, it really didn't look like he was standing alone, though. He had a couple of friends there with him,
Yeah.
But okay.
Like
Yeah,
I
that
couldn't
was
tell
cool.
you. I couldn't tell you a plot from any episode. I just know I watched it.
Yep.
Yeah. Bernie Wrightson did work on the original Swamp Thing series.
He did.
Yeah, I sent you the link.
You did. Okay, hold on.
To your channel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I already subbed.
Awesome.
Clever Era. Oh goodness gracious! I didn't realize this was a whole new channel.
Yeah, it's a whole. Well, so I'm streaming. I've been streaming live on my animation channel.
Mhm.
And then I've been using I've been using the animation channel to stream, and then I download it, and then I chop it up and I post it here.
I wonder where you get that idea from, huh?
I don't know. I made it up. Why? Do you do that?
Dick. Of course I remember seeing this thumbnail. I didn't know it was for you though.
Yeah.
USD for NFTs.
That's cool. So how many videos do you have on your channel right now?
5.
Just 5? Okay.
Yeah, well, I started Monday. I got 15 subs. That's pretty good, right? For a couple days.
Yeah.
You know?
I have 90 subs and I've been on here for years.
Yeah, well, you don't do anything though.
I know I haven't done anything so long because I don't like YouTube. I don't like making
I
videos
know.
that much.
It's hard. It's difficult because I don't want to. It's hard. I like putting content out, but I hate having to be like I got to put out X number of videos a day.
Mhm.
You know.
That's the reason I'm probably going to go back to streaming, just like streaming on Twitch, and try to make one video a week for YouTube. And
I'm trying to. If I do one live stream a day, and I did it in the mornings, and like Andrew showed up to one of my streams. Only a few people showed up. I think because like everyone was at work, because it's easier for me to do it at like 11 o'clock.
How is it possible that I joined one of your streams and I wasn't even subscribed to your channel? It just came up in my feed, I guess.
I guess it did. You just hopped on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, something out there was working right. Richard says he just subbed. So
Awesome. Thank you guys.
with me and
That's
Richard,
fun.
you're now up to 15. So
Thank you guys so much.
Avery's never going to sub.
I already did.
He was the
okay.
first. He beat you. Oh, man.
Now, why, oh, why would you have your name as Peter Porker?
I don't know.
Just
It's the first-
randomly picked something? There wasn't a reason for it?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
I liked Spider-Ham when I was a little kid, though.
He was great in the movie.
I don't know about that, but
Oh, come on. The movie was fun.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Are you saying you never saw it?
I guess so.
No. The animated Spider-Man movie, it was actually fun. Never mind. I keep forgetting who I'm talking to. I gotta wake up. I gotta become
I think
a
I
realist.
watched it. I just don't remember much.
I gotta be a realist and realize that
I
talking
yeah,
to Avery.
I don't want to go pay money to buy stuff from people that openly hate me. It's not happening.
Yes, I know. All right. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I appreciate everybody who came to the show. Dillard, Richard, Eagle, you guys are great. You're fantastic. Subscribe to Todd's show. He's going to stop making videos as of right now, and we're never going to see him again. That's just
I'm
his
doing
MO.
one tonight. I'm doing one. It's either I was going to do it at either 9:30 or 10 because I didn't want to like bump your show. So I'll probably start doing it at 10 p.m.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be sound asleep, so I'll watch it in the morning.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably it'll be up tomorrow afternoon because I have to go to sleep and then I'll edit it tomorrow. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to put the video up of me dancing for tomorrow, so you guys get to see that.
Yeah.
If you're subscribed, you'll get notifications. Then you guys got to jump. I actually had scam videos set up for the entire week. I tend to get so many of them that I can if I can edit them and post them, I usually do it ahead of time. I had scam videos set up all the way through Friday, and I'm pushing tomorrow's just simply because I'm going to insert the one that I got today. So actually, I got two good ones today. I had a credit card scammer call me earlier, and I used every line on him. I used, can I speak to somebody who speaks English? I said, are your parents proud of what you do? And he still hung in there with me. So
He hung in there with you?
yep.
You get some weird people, bro.
Oh, I know. And the funny part is how he ended the conversation. I mean, his go-to "I gotcha" line was just embarrassingly bad.
Like he called you gay or F your mom or something.
Something like that. But yeah. And he literally dragged it out. I'll tell you what he said, because nobody over here is going to listen. He says, do you have a piece of paper and a pencil? And I go, well, no, I'm driving. He says, can you get a piece of paper and a pencil? I said, no, I'm driving. I said, I'm recording this call. So whatever you have to tell me, I don't need to write it down. I'll just listen to it later. He's like, can you get a pen and pencil and paper? And I said, are you not listening to me? He says, do you have a smartphone? And I'm like, yes. He says, bring up Notepad on your smartphone. I said, and at this point, I just decided to humor him and say, sure, I'll do that. He says, activate the finger pencil so that you can draw with your finger. And I go, okay. He says, I want you to draw a dick and suck it. And I'm like, we went through all that just for that? Really? That was his big go-to catch.
Yeah. That's the best he's got.
That was it. I'm like, okay. They're so sad. They're so sad. But yep. Actually, the wife was with me there while I was making that call, and she's just rolling her eyes the entire time. But luckily, she didn't interrupt me and mess me up, because she tries to every now and then. She'll say something. It's like, honey, I'm recording. Leave me alone. Don't mess with me. But I love her. Thank God for her. She eats my peeps. The ones that I don't like.
Oh,
Dude, I don't need to know about your peep.
God. Oh.
On that note, we're going to end this before these guys say something that'll get me in real trouble.